Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the recipient of the Santa Barbara International Film Festival's Cinema Vanguard Award, Michael B. Jordan.
Thank you guys so much. That's wild. That's wild.
Mike McGee puts these together, and I know he was.
Oh man,
does a great job.
How you guys doing? Thank you guys for coming out here tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you. How you doing, man?
Does that? You ever get used to that?
No. No, it's always a lot of love, and I just really appreciate you guys for sticking with me over the years and kind of supporting me every step of the way. So I appreciate you guys.
Well, thank you for coming to Santa Barbara, and tonight it's a treat because I'm gonna make you go back through all of it. We're gonna go right to the beginning. First of all, where were you born and raised, and what did your folks do for a living?
Oh man, you went back to the beginning. Back. Okay, cool. Born in Orange County, California. And raised in Newark, New Jersey. From the East Coast.
Born in about 1987, I think.
87.
So
February 9th.
February 9th.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this. I mentioned this because at that time there already was, a basketball player that was performing at a pretty high level by the name of Michael Jordan. So were your I don't know what would be more interesting if your parents were big sports fans and chose this name, or were not and chose this name.
So my dad's name is Michael Jordan.
Yes.
So I'm named after my dad, and he's a little bit older than the other MJ.
He was there first.
So he had the name first, and it just so happened that he was in the league running rampant in '87.
Yes.
So I don't know if he put two and two together,
right,
or he really realized what I would have to go through as when I was coming up playing sports, because I was pretty competitive, but being named Michael Jordan definitely gave me a competitive chip. It gave me a healthy chip to want to compete at something.
And can we just acknowledge? I believe the original Michael Jordan is with us tonight, right?
Wait, what do you mean? My dad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my dad. Yeah. I was like, wait, hold on. Wait.
Sorry to disappoint you.
What original are you talking about? No. Yeah, my dad.
Your dad's the original.
My dad's with me. My dad is back here. He doesn't get a chance to come to too many of these things, but I got a chance to bring him
very
down
great
today,
to have him with us.
Yeah, I'm very grateful to have him on Pop here.
So let's turn to your mom, because I believe it was with her at about the age of 10 that this all started very accidentally, right? You go to a doctor's appointment?
Yeah, my mom has lupus, and she had a doctor's appointment, and I was in the waiting room, and the receptionist on her way out said, you should get your son, into modeling. And I was an awkward, weird-looking kid, so modeling wasn't really like the first thing that would pop to people's mind when they see me. But she had two sons that were in the business, and I crashed an audition the next day. I booked it. I got into some trouble because I crashed audition, but I just continually just booked jobs. I went and got a backstage newspaper down at Newark Penn Station, and there was a manager who had open calls. Her name's Lori Danzinger. Thank you so much, Lori. I appreciate you so much. And I auditioned for her that day. She signed me to a management company, and I started going out for print work and background work, extra work. I was on The Sopranos, for at one point, and I just started paying my dues. Honestly, didn't really know this was going to be a career. I never knew that it would take me to where I am today. It was just something to do at a young age.
Yeah.
And I've just been blessed to work on shows with veteran actors and producers and great writers that kind of planted those seeds, and kind of gave me that encouragement.
Well, and with television, let's just say, so Sopranos, The Wire, Friday Night Lights, Parenthood, when people talk about the new golden age of TV, the platinum age of TV, they're talking about these shows, and you were sort of showing up everywhere. And I guess the first of the ones where you had a substantive part would have been The Wire, I think starting around 2002, a real meaty part.
Yeah.
Of course, Wallace, we will always remember. And so how did that begin?
Oh, how did that begin? I think from just the auditioning process, honestly. You know, I went out for Bodie. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Bodie, character who actually killed Wallace at the end of the...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, you know.
In case you're wondering, where's Wallace?
I auditioned for that character, but I was too young.
Right.
So Alexa Fogel brought me back in, and she auditioned for Wallace, and I ended up booking that role. And you know, with The Wire, we found out very quickly, season 1, that nobody was safe. Everybody was like up for like getting killed off.
Right,
you know, you never knew. As soon as you got the script, you would kind of just flip through to make sure your name was at the end of the script, just to make sure you survived.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, I can go back and read what the episode was about. So like right around towards the end of the season, you know, I got that infamous knock on your trailer door from like David Simon. Right. You know, he comes in and is like, look, Mike, and you just kind of know. You're just like, all right, read me my rights. Just tell me what's going on. And he just kind of was like, I love you. You know, everybody loves you, and you know, that's why we got to kill you. You know, and at that age, you know, I thought it was over. I was like, this is the last time I'm gonna get a chance to act again. You know, it was like one big family. You know, I remember just bawling my eyes out, like, you know, I'm never gonna work again. And everybody was like, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. And I'm like, well, how do you know I'll be fine? And then from there was
well, actually,
I'll let you.
No, only just because I wanna do one more Wire question, which is, you know, today, whoever you ask, whether I believe President Obama and just about anyone else who has an opinion about TV thinks that's the greatest show maybe ever, certainly of this century. And when you were in the middle of it, it wasn't getting the kind of Emmys love and that sort of thing that sometimes these things are measured by. Yeah. They were very late they never caught up to that party. But did you guys in the midst of it realize how special it was?
I think we knew we were doing something honest. You know, all the actors involved, the producers, the writers, we felt like we were showing up every day and like giving a real representation of like of these characters, of these lives, of this reality that exists that a lot of people, you know, didn't get a chance or haven't had the chance to really get an unbiased opinion on, you know? And I mean, season 1, we were supposed to get canceled. We weren't supposed to come back. After season 2, we were supposed to get canceled. After season 3, we were supposed to get canceled. It was only after season 3 that we got picked up for 4 and 5. So every year we felt like it was our last year. Whether we got the recognition or not, we were proud of us. We were like the motley crew that was just like the band of rejects. Like, yeah, okay, cool. We're just getting the job done. Even though nobody's kind of recognizing our work, we still felt good about what we were doing. And HBO, you know, they do such an amazing job at keeping, you know, their actors in rotation and, you know, and keeping that family kind of vibe. So even though we didn't get the recognition, we still felt like we were doing work that you know, that was on par, you know? So we felt like we were raising the bar a little bit.
So when your character left the show, and with people literally saying, where's Wallace, where's Wallace? And,
yes.
And I'm sure you've heard that every day of your life since. Your concern was more, where's Michael B. Jordan going to land up after this? And for a while, it actually, you know, those concerns, I think, seemed very legitimate because you were having a hard time getting that next opportunity. And I think when I've interviewed you in the past, I thought it was one of the most interesting things that you ended up maybe the next year and for like 3 years thereafter on the soap opera All My Children. Yep. And people, people have this attitude towards soap operas that it's like, you know, let's hold our nose up at it. But every actor I've ever talked to who's been on one says it prepped them more than anything else for what came after, if they went beyond that. And I want to ask you, you know, you're working with people that have been doing it there forever, Susan Lucci, whatever. Was there value in doing those 3 years?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, honestly, my work ethic, preparation. The thing about soap operas, I mean, we would do an episode and a half a day. You know, we would do over 100 pages a day. And, you know, you would, you know, block, rehearse, shoot. You know, we were a machine. We were spitting it out. So, I mean, as a young actor, never really tested before. You know, you get put in a position where you're supposed to learn all these lines and you're supposed to be prepared and be on set. And sometimes you think you got it, but you might not have studied as much as you were supposed to. So early on, I got taught a pretty beneficial lesson for the future of being prepared. When you go up there and you don't know your lines, you know, or you're not solid, and you mess up or you flub a line or you don't get it right, that's it. They're moving on. That's going to air. And when the next time when you see yourself on screen and you're messing up and you're just like, oh man, okay, cool, never again. You never want to be in that position again. So I think that happened to me maybe one time. Right. And ever since then, that fear of being, you know, caught with egg on your face, or not showing up for your scene partner, or not being, you know, being there for the other actors in the scene, you know, once that happens to you once, you know, you're scared straight, you know. So I think I definitely, you know, contribute a lot of my work ethic and professionalism to soap operas, just being prepared and wanting to be a giving actor.
Really interesting. Yeah. Well, what we're going to do is, for our first set of clips, and we're going to have these throughout the night, we are going to take a look at Michael B. Jordan in The Wire, and then also on another TV show I referenced, which was a few years later, Friday Night Lights.